news coming in. This in connection with the Adani Hindenburg controversy. In fact, the panel that was formed by the Supreme Court, Republic has accessed exclusive details of that expert panel in the Adani case. In fact, the report very clearly states that there is no prima facie violation by SEBI or even the Adani Group on the stocks. We will have Sharmila joining us live on this broadcast to give us more details of this report that has been accessed by Republic TV. Giving some more information about the report that was filed by this expert panel, the 8-member panel that was formed by the Supreme Court. They've submitted this report. And in fact, some key takeaways from this report that has been submitted. Adani Group has disclosed all beneficial owners. No charge by SEBI that they are rejecting Adani's declaration of beneficial owners. In fact, in conclusion to this report, the panel has very clearly stated that SEBI was actively engaged with developments and market movements and price movements in the market. At this stage, a prima facie, it wouldn't be possible to conclude that there's been a regulatory failure around allegation of a price manipulation. Sharmila is joining us. Sharmila, we've spoken about this report earlier as well. If you can highlight the details of this report and the findings of this report, due to which, in fact, it has come the conclusion that has been drawn, which states that prima facie there is no violation. If you can elaborate on that.
Primarily, the takeaway at this moment on the report is that there has been no manipulation on the stock markets as was alleged by the Hindenburg report. But what the committee has come back with in the report is that it has confirmed that there has been a very strong drive to short sell Adani Group stocks. Short positions were taken before the report's release, and when the report was released, an interested group, external entities, have made considerable profit. Now the committee has highlighted that this matter has to be probed. And the other side of it is, the allegation was that whether there was any manipulation by the company in the markets for the stock prices, that has been ruled out. And while the SEBI, as we know, that SEBI is already probing the matter at the side, and we are going to expect some sort of response from them by August. But any sort of manipulation is primarily now ruled out. But we are going to wait for some more detailed response from SEBI in a couple of months. But what now stands to be investigated is that were these interested groups who positioned short on Adani stocks, which led to this entire volatility in the market after the report. So that now needs to be investigated. And what everybody stands is on that is the interesting turn of events that we are waiting for right now.
In fact, Sharmila, if you can also highlight the kind of the points on market volatility that has been stated in this report that has been submitted by the 8-member panel.
As we know, if we can look back when the Hindenburg report had come out, the stock market was affected for quite a long time until Adani Group came back with announcements of settlement of debts, and it's slowly and eventually regained its position in the market. So that immediate crash of the market, which had followed the Hindenburg report, is something which has been observed by the panel. And Adani Group has also disclosed that they have taken considerable measures to comfort their investors because of the financial erosion, the profit erosion that their investors had seen in the next couple of days after that report, which had actually put a lot of people made a lot of people cautious about whether SEBI was at least aware of what was going on, and because the erosion of wealth was so much. But the panel has also noted that the Adani Group has taken considerable measure to bring the stock prices up and to stabilize their investors. So that is the next takeaway from the report as well.
In fact, Sharmila, if you can also talk about how there's a mention in the report that certain groups sort of benefited because of the Hindenburg report, because of the short selling of the Hindenburg report. If you can highlight that point that has been mentioned in the report as well.
Yeah, typically short selling is a market mechanism where people take short positions on a company, and after the price crashes in the market, they make considerable profit by buying back those stocks at a cheaper rate. So that is exactly how the Adani Group was taken by surprise by the Hindenburg report, and the panel has confirmed today in the report that certain entities had taken short positions in the Adani Group stocks beforehand, before the report, and when the report came, the stocks crashed and they made considerable profit from short recovery. It's a technique, it's a market manipulation, and the Adani Group has faced it, and as we see, and it's been confirmed by the report today.
As you are giving us more details of this report, Sharmila, let's also once again put out the details of this report. Republic has accessed this full 178-page report that has been submitted by the 8-member team. Some key points from this report would obviously be of the conclusion that has been drawn, which says at this stage, prima facie, it wouldn't be possible to conclude that there's been regulatory failure around allegation of price manipulation on Adani stocks. In fact, this panel was tasked to find out any irregularities by the SEBI as well as the Adani Group in terms of the market volatility is concerned. This panel was asked to submit a report to the Supreme Court panel on the same. In fact, the Supreme Court expert committee has sort of given a clean sheet to Adani by saying that there's no evidence of price manipulation, no evidence of violation of related party transaction norms. FPIs invested in Adani have made full disclosures. These are the main highlights of this report that has been submitted. In fact, Sharmila, if you can also tell our viewers about the extra time that has been sought by SEBI to give a full-fledged report to the Supreme Court as far as this Adani issue is concerned. If you can give our viewers about the probe that has been conducted so far by the regulatory body.
See, SEBI was also primarily given 2 months to come back with some conclusive report inputs on the matter, but it has sought initially 6 months, and recently Supreme Court has given them 3 months extension to deepen their probe. Primarily, SEBI has announced that they have reached out to international regulators for some certain inputs on this matter, and they're still seeking, they're waiting for some responses from regulators offshore, and once they get back some clarity on that matter, they will be able to furnish a full, clear report on certain transactions. Of the Hindenburg report, there were 12 allegations which SEBI has said were of highly complex nature. And those 12 complaints, the 12 allegations, is what SEBI is focusing on right now, which is going to take them some time before they come back with a conclusive report.
Yes, and just giving our viewers a quick sense of what has happened so far. The Supreme Court had in fact set up an 8-member panel to look into the Adani Hindenburg case. That panel has submitted its report. This report is now public and has in fact very clearly said that there is no evidence of price manipulation by Adani, sort of giving a clean sheet to Adani. We have Abhishek, our senior executive editor, joining us on the phone line to give us more details about this report. Abhishek, what would be the political repercussions of this report that has been given by the expert panel? Because we know the Adani issue had been very politically volatile in the last few months. What could be the political repercussions of this report?
First up, Sanika, see, the report has come in response to the Supreme Court setting up a panel of experts to look into this Adani saga, post Hindenburg report, which accused the Adani Group of price manipulation and hence essentially a scam. But what is important is that the kind of politicization we saw panning out, because the Congress party essentially and then the rest of the opposition sought to connect the Adani Group's right with the present government in New Delhi led by Prime Minister Modi. Now this panel comes out and says that there is no regulatory failure, which means that whatever Adani Group has done over the last decade or more has been under our regulatory mechanisms, be it the SEBI, be it the RBI, be it other organizations like the NSE, which monitor corporate groups on corporate accountability and corporate governance, for example. And then the panel actually says that Prima Facie, there seems to be no regulatory failure on the part of SEBI. The Supreme Court appointed committee has said. Now, what is important is, Sanika, the politicization led to, for example, complete washout of the second half of the budget session, because the Hindenburg report came after the budget, and before that half of the session. And since then we have seen the Congress party led by Rahul Gandhi even, going to the foreign shores and talking about this. Now this panel report coming out and essentially giving a clean sheet insofar as those charges are concerned in terms of the Adani Group indulging in anything which was found to be short on corporate governance. And from here on, how the politics pans out, really, I believe the BJP would be taking it up and throwing it at the Congress party to tell them that, see, the experts panel set up by the Supreme Court, in which BJP has no role, has come to the conclusion that there was no hanky-panky government is concerned. We are yet to get some reactions insofar as the Congress party is concerned. But essentially what this report answers is, Sanika, is on how to provide an overall assessment of the situation, including the relevant causal factors which have led to the volatility in the securities market, which was earlier being attributed to Adani. And then it suggests measures to help strengthen investor awareness. But that's a different aspect. But what is important is that it's specific to the charges made by the Hindenburg report, at least, that there was an element of price manipulation. That seems to be untrue insofar as this experts panel set up by the Supreme Court is concerned.
Thank you very much, Abhishek, for joining us on this broadcast with these details.